Hello, I'm Olu. Today we're going to do one of the most exciting topics in development economics. It's called primary product dependency. More specifically, we're going to focus on the Dutch disease. So stick around, you might like what I've got for you. What I'm going to do right now is share my screen. What primary product dependency is. So just to make sure that everyone is very, very clear about it. Now, when you're primary product dependent, this is where 60% of your exports have been extracted from the ground. Examples are oil and a variety of crops. Then you're said to be primary product dependent. So let's say over 60% are extracted from the ground. You're relying on that. You're relying on that process to get you lots of exports. So therefore, you are very dependent. Okay. Now, that sounds okay, but it does have a number of problems. And one of the issues could be the Dutch disease. Okay, and this is what I'm going to talk about that. We're going to examine how the Dutch disease could potentially cause a problem for this country who are relying on a lot of primary products. Okay, now this all started in 1959 when the Dutch discovered natural gas, and that caused a little bit of excitement, and as a result, lots of money started flowing in. I want you to try to imagine a small African country. Let's say they suddenly discover lithium. They discover loads and loads of lithium. Anyone who knows a little bit about lithium, the price of lithium is going up. So let's imagine they discovered lots of it. Now they want to start lithium mines, but they haven't got the capital. And let's say a rich country, let's say America, for example, decides, you know what, we're going to help you. We're going to help the process. We're going to help you mine this and everything else. And they accept the help. Then in order for the USA to help this small African country, they're going to have to purchase the domestic currency. So as a result of demanding the domestic currency, it's going to cause an appreciation of their currency. Okay. And that effectively can potentially lead to some problems. So I want us to be able to, I want us to have a clear definition of what the Dutch disease is. And I've got one here for you. So the Dutch disease can be defined as when you discover or you have increased exploitation of natural resources. So suddenly you've discovered something. You've discovered a lot of natural resources, or you have increased exploitation because you feel there's evidence there's natural resources. So you want to try to exploit that situation. In other words, you've just suddenly discovered something you haven't had before, and that causes a lot of interest from other countries. Okay, so as a result of that, a lot of money comes into your country, and as a result of that, they have to demand your currency. And when they demand your currency, that's going to cause an appreciation of your currency. Now that sounds like, oh, our currency is appreciated, but if you remember the aggregate demand formula, appreciation is normally not a great thing for exports. Okay. Now, if, for example, they've discovered lithium, the lithium market, obviously they're going to do okay in the lithium market, but any sector in that domestic country that's not related to lithium, their exports are going to be a lot more expensive. Okay, they're going to be a lot more expensive, and that's going to make them very uncompetitive. They're not going to be competitive at all. So that particular market that they discover all the natural resources and the money floods in, and that leads to an appreciation of the domestic currency, that's fine. Everyone that works in that market, in that sector, will be fine. But the problem is other sectors of the economy. They're suddenly faced with their currency is suddenly appreciated in value. Suddenly their exports are twice or three times as expensive. And as a result, they become uncompetitive. And that is one of the problems in terms of the Dutch disease. It can create a lot of other sectors, make them uncompetitive, especially manufacturing. Okay, so just for you to understand, natural resources are discovered, and as a result, that interest from other countries come in. They want to help mine this product. For example, if it's lithium, as a result of money coming in, they have to demand the local currency. As a result of the demand, the currency goes up in value. It appreciates significantly. However, other sectors, like manufacturing sectors that are not involved in the lithium market, they're going to face, they're basically their exports are going to be a lot more expensive. So suddenly they become less competitive, and then it can create a lot of problems. And that's why they call it the Dutch disease. I know it's a funny name, but it all started from the Netherlands. It's a very, very interesting theory. It does happen in reality. And I've noticed that, for example, in Nigeria, they focus a lot on oil, and that has and that is to the detriment of other sectors. But essentially, they use the word Dutch disease because you're trying to get the same kind of scenario of discovering natural resources, and suddenly interest is flowing in. That's how they normally describe it. However, it can be perhaps looked at in terms of countries who are heavily focused on particular sectors, and as a result of that, it does have detrimental effects around that. For example, oil. Focus heavily on oil and cause the appreciation of the currency, it does tend to affect other sectors. So that's essential. Hopefully, you've understood what the Dutch disease is, and it could be potentially a problem for developing economies, especially. Thank you. Please like, share, and subscribe so I can continue doing these videos. Okay. Thank you for subscribing so far. Continue to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you. Bye bye.